Boom. Look at that, people. That is cooked to mother freaking perfection. 614 Life here with another cooking video. So today I am making an amazing ribeye steak. The method that I'm doing this is a little crazy, if you will. So what you're gonna need for this recipe is a really nice piece of steak. Today we're using a ribeye. This has been dry aging in the fridge for 1 week. And when I say dry aging, you essentially put the steak on one of these wire racks and you literally let it sit in the fridge. Some people let their stuff dry age for up to 45 days. I'm more of a week's fine for me. So what it does, it just gives you a whole different flavor for the steak. You're also gonna need 16 sticks of grass-fed butter. You heard me right, 16 sticks. This is not a cheap recipe. I think this 2-pack cost $8. So you do the math on, you got about 8 of these. You're gonna need some pink Himalayan salt or kosher salt, some thyme. You can use fresh thyme if you want, some coarse black pepper, and some minced garlic. You can use fresh if you want, but like I said in the last cooking video, we have this enormous Costco-sized jar of minced garlic, so we're just gonna go ahead and try to finish that off. So let's get on to cooking this bad boy. So the first step of the recipe is you wanna find a pot that's big enough to fit the butter in and fit the steak in completely. You don't want the steak to like move up like this when you put it in, so it's gotta lay flat. So that's what we're doing right now. We're just unwrapping all the butter and putting it in here, and then we're gonna go to the next step, which is melting the butter down. So right now what we're doing is we're actually melting the butter over medium heat. Once the butter is completely melted, we're gonna get on to the next step of the recipe, but it's very important you don't heat this up too fast, because if the butter burns, it's gonna ruin the entire recipe. I don't know if you can see this, but it's melting very slowly, stick by stick. So just kind of give it a little stir once in a while. Okay, when the butter starts looking like this, it's gonna have like this little foam on top. That's when you're gonna wanna add the spices, the 2 tablespoons of garlic and 1 tablespoon of the thyme. And just kind of mix that in. And again, we're heating this up on a very low heat. Now that the butter's completely melted, we turn the heat off and let this rest for about 10 minutes because we don't want to put the steak into the temperature the butter's in right now. We want the butter to be the temperature of the oven. The oven is preheated to 175 degrees or preheat it to whatever the lowest temperature your oven can get to. So now we're gonna just take the steak like so. I got a meat thermometer in there, so the meter plus. And we're just gonna, oh baby. Dun, dun, dun. And gently place it in and let it go to its buttery grave. So then we're gonna put the lid onto the Dutch oven and we're gonna put it in the oven until the internal temperature reaches 120 degrees, and that's for the next step. In the oven it goes. Looks like we got about 4 minutes left. That's the Meter Plus app. That's the meat probe we have in there right now. So again, we're going for a goal of 120 degrees internal, which is a rare temperature, but when we actually cook it, the rest of the way it's gonna bring it up to a medium rare. We're now going to take the steak out of the butter bath. It's gonna look a little weird. We're gonna put it onto this wire rack and let it rest. It's gonna rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. Let me zoom in on that for you. It's gonna look a little gray, that's fine. It'll look normal when we get done cooking it. Now's when we're gonna put our salt and pepper on there. So I've already pre-mixed them together. And you just kinda wanna sprinkle that on, like so. Then flip it over and kinda get the sides a little bit. But again, we're letting it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. That way when we take it off of the next step, you don't have to let it rest, so you can just cut right into it and eat. Okay, while we're letting the steak rest, we're actually gonna preheat a cast iron skillet. So that's what we're doing right now. And the key to this is you wanna get this piping hot. So to see if it's hot enough, we're actually gonna take the pot filler, it's right above it, and we're just gonna drip a little bit of water on there. Now that means it's not quite hot enough, because as you can see, the water is not instantly evaporating. So it's gotta literally instantly evaporate for it to be ready for the next step. Okay, now that the pan's hot enough, we're gonna actually take some avocado oil and we're going to put some down like so. And we're gonna paint it on. Okay, now the next step is gonna be the, here we go. The here we go step. And we let it sear for 1.5 minutes. And what we also are gonna do, remember that little butter concoction we had over here? We're gonna actually go like this. Go like this every once in a while. Okay, now the smoke alarm's going off. We're gonna go ahead and flip this over and sear the other side for a minute and a half. God, you gotta love it, people. You gotta love it. Can't write this stuff. Can't write this stuff. We just took it off the cast iron skillet and almost burned the house down in the process. Just kidding, we didn't. So this is the finished product. So we're gonna cut into it and let you guys see how it turned out. And then give you a taste test. Boom. Look at that, people. That is cooked to mother freaking perfection. If I do say so myself. God dang, woman. That doesn't, look at that. Sexy. Okay, now for the taste test. It is so good. Like it, share it, subscribe. Let me know how it turned out for you guys. Let me know if you burn your house down. Anyway, 614 Life. Peace and you're welcome. Okay, here's the critic, the wife. How is it? Be honest.
Really good.
It's really good? It's like one of the best things you ever had in your mouth. That's a letdown for me. But anyway, like it, share, subscribe. You're welcome. Okay, I won't post that. Maybe I will. Baby.